Where do your thoughts come from? Do your own thoughts uplift you? Or do they more often than not make you doubt yourself, disbelieve yourself, and have a host of depressive thoughts? Most people's thoughts bring them down instead of lift them up. The majority of the United States population is sick, mentally imbalanced, depressed, you name it. It's largely due to thoughts. What happens with thoughts is you have them surface into your conscious mind, and if you give credit to a particular thought, it will take you in a particular direction. And if it takes you far enough into a particular direction, it usually causes your emotional field to react, and now you are reacting emotionally, and we know that emotions cause the body to produce energy that is either uplifting or negative, and if the energy is negative, you end up losing that energy. We know this through Carillion photography. We know this just based on simply living it. When you experience negative emotion, you feel drained. After years of research, experimenting with monitoring my own thoughts, you name it, a large majority of people's thoughts are projected into their mind from an external source, which I like to call the Archon. And the Archon is a great deceiver. The Archon likes you to question yourself. It likes you to question your self-worth. It likes you to question your level of ability to get things done. It wants to confuse you. People think that something like this can't be true. Doesn't mean that it isn't true. There are things outside of our perceptual blinders that would blow the average person's mind. We live in a highly conditioned, pampered, matrix-style, bubble-esque lifestyle. We're like pod people nowadays. It's an absolutely embarrassing joke, and part of my life's mission is to help people get out of the pod person mentality, where you spend most of your time indoors, you eat most of the system's bullshit food. I mean, it's no wonder why people's IQ levels and why people have sluggish thoughts, and it's no wonder how the Archon has been able to succeed. The body is a temporary suit that we use to navigate this dimensional realm. The spirit is the part of you that transgresses life. It's the part of you that lives on after the flesh ceases to exist, after the heart ceases to beat. And whether you want to believe it or not, but your spirit has been around forever. But we've been thrown down into this dimension in this bodysuit that's been malnourished. We've forgotten who we are, what we came here to do. We have what I call spiritual amnesia, that they will be able to take us out of alignment, and in doing so, make us exceptionally manageable, controllable. They can turn you into a slave by taking your energy away. They've broken the human spirit and the human will by taking our body out of homeostasis and out of alignment. Once you look at what has been done to the food supply, what they are putting on the crops, what they are doing to animals, regardless of whether you're a vegan, a vegetarian, a carnivore, an omnivore, high fruit, low carb, whatever it is, there are serious deficiencies during the day, and you saw the farmland that was just nothing but vegetables and greens. That was at one point sacred land, unadulterated land that was decimated. All of the animals that were living there were either ran out or killed. They killed all of the soil and plowed it so that they could raise vegetables, raise produce, raise fruit, raise corn for people to eat. The large majority of the land that has been destroyed on this earth in the United States and worldwide is for animal agriculture and factory farms. It's time to wake up. We've got to look at the truth regardless of how difficult it is and regardless of how much it contradicts our belief systems about diet, you name it, and ethics, morals, you name it. To a large extent, this is how we lose our minds. Mineral depletion. Vital nutrients are what cause our mind to be able to take in the cosmic wavelengths of the higher self. When we're broken, disassociated, you name it, we have a difficult time grasping on to higher truths. It's a very simple thing to understand. A fundamental message that we have been hijacked by an extra-dimensional, hyper-intelligent entity that I call the Archon, and it is using our bodies as an energy farm. An entity intelligently hijacks the energy field of the human body and siphons degrees of energy out for its own benefit. The Archon intelligently hijacks our consciousness by projecting parts of its own consciousness into our minds on an omnipotent fashion. Now, we identify with the Archon's thoughts that it projects into our mind. We think that those thoughts are our own. You start to take on its nature. But how would you know that thoughts that are moving through your consciousness aren't yours? You've never been taught to question your own thoughts. You've always been taught that your thoughts are your own, and it's a mentally unstable thing to question that. You might be schizophrenic. You might be mentally ill if you question your own thoughts, or if you really try to listen to your thoughts. And if you have dark thoughts, you might be unstable. All this nonsense to take you out of alignment. I engineered a protocol on how to delete these thoughts When you engage in this, you try to completely empty your thoughts. You try to not think anything. And when you do this, you will be overwhelmed with thoughts. This is a spiritual war between good and evil, and this is not for the faint of heart. Because when the Archon becomes aware of the fact that you're aware of it, it's going to do everything in its power to stop you in your tracks, because you are now a threat to its continuity. Recharge your battery. Stop treating it like shit.